Good morning, students. Mr. Eric here. Obviously, I sound a little funky. I got a cold. I apologize for my voice, but we're all just going to have to kind of deal with it. What you guys are going to be talking about today are orthographic drawings, and we introduced this yesterday, but we didn't have as much time as I had hoped to talk about it. So I wanted to just do a brief little overview with you of this, and then I'm going to show you kind of how to do your own, and hopefully you guys can get some good practice in today. So again, an orthographic drawing is where you have several different views of the same object. So what I want you to do is pause the video here and have a discussion about why would you, if you wanted to show somebody your design, why would you want to have different views of your design? So I hope that you were saying things like, well, if you only gave them one of these views, they wouldn't know what the heck your design was supposed to look like. You know, that if I just showed them this, how would I know what kind of depth it had? How would I know what was on the other side of this? You know, and the answer is they wouldn't. That's why we need to do these. So I'm just going to click through a couple of examples here so you can kind of see it. I like this little example because you've got the three views, and they're always set up like this, and we'll talk about this here in a minute, but they're always set up like this, where you've got the front. I always start with the front, and it's bottom left. Then you rotate it around, and you go to the top, and then you rotate it over, and you do the right view. Let me point out one thing on this one, is you'll notice the way this is set up, there's like an indent here, and that indent, like you can kind of see it from the front view, but you're not 100% sure what it looks like. So on the right view, you notice they've got that line there, even though you can't see it, but it's dotted or a dashed line. Okay, that's called a hidden line. So you got to show even hidden lines in these, and we'll talk more about that later. But just keep that in mind. You got to be able to show what you're looking at. So again, always the front and the bottom left, then the top, then the right side. And here's why you do it that way. Okay, here's why you do it that way. Is if I draw the front, if I line it up just right, then when I rotate it to look at the top, look how this line lines up with this line. 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 So you line it all up so it matches up perfectly, and that not only helps you draw it, but it helps people understand it as well. So look at the right view over here. Again, top. If we follow this over in a straight line, lines up. This level here, follow it straight over, lines up. Bottom, followed over, lines up. So you want to set it up that way so it's always lined up, because that'll just help people do it. If we click on this one, you can see how when they're drawing it, they do. Don't ignore this one. I wouldn't do it like this. This is not best practice. That's not how most people do it. Look at this one over here. You can see they do dotted lines when they're drawing it. That's what I would recommend you do, is do dotted lines so you make sure everything matches up. That'll help you a lot when you're drawing. So now that you kind of got a basics of why and how to do this, what I want you to do is just grab objects around the room, start with real simple objects, and draw orthographic drawings of them on the big whiteboards. Or I do it on the big whiteboards just because I want them to be quick. This isn't like spend a lot of time on them, making a piece of art. This is practicing getting the orthographic views down. So watch the next video. I'm going to show you how to do this.